Hello and welcome. My name is Kevin. This is Do It for Bruce. We're here in Crusader Kings 3 once more with you all for another time lapse. Today's time lapse suggestion comes from the community. Roma7126 says you should do a time lapse where all bookmarked starting characters are immortal and have 100 stats. So we've done that in the 1066 start date. We've gone ahead and given all the immortality and 100 stats to all the lovely lads, lasses, and everybody in between. So we're gonna see how well these 15 immortals do. All right, let's do some predictions. First of all, most of our immortals are Catholic, so I think Catholicism will be the top religion. I think out of our 15 immortals, there will be about 12 left. And finally, Normandy will be the man who runs England at the end of the time lapse. So with that all said and done, let's get to the time lapse itself. I'll see you in a bit. Alrighty, here we're 353 years in the future and we have some consolidation. Surprisingly enough, guess what, immortals, when given the chance, they will consolidate. Looks like Norway and all the Holy Roman Empire is still run by an immortal. God damn, Norway, what have you been up to, you crazy goose? All the way into the steppe and then all the way into Africa? What's going on here, you crazy man? All right, so clearly our first prediction of Normandy winning their the invasion and holding on to English was incorrect. It looks like Harald Hardrada, ruler of Norway, is still here. It looks like the Scottish King Malcolm III is still around. Denmark doesn't seem to be around, probably just doing it from their sides. It doesn't look like they've done well. And yeah, the thickness is in charge of the HRE and fighting the Empire of Castile. All right, but we'll get back to that in a second. Let's look at our progressions. We go down to first religion, as I predicted, because the majority of them are Catholic. It looks like, yeah. So then let's go to culture, see if any of the Immortals did anything wild. Not really, actually. They didn't even seem to have spread their culture that much, but Ireland is firmly Irish. Czech is still firmly Czech. Doesn't look like they've done too much with their time that they've had. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing like having 400 years of time and not really developing your culture at all. But maybe that's the thing. All right, so now let's look at how many of the Immortals are still kicking. Out of our 15, there are 8, and only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them are still landed. Some of them have, for whatever reason, lost their lands. It looks like Alfonso the Brave and Matilda is also lost her lands, but she's still kicking. They're still having good lives, minus the fact that they have cancer and they're both, for whatever, blind and possessed. Who wouldn't be possessed after this much time? Wouldn't that be wild if you had an immortal captain, a mercenary captain, for whatever reason? You're just like, yep, he's always gonna live. So, yep, he's in charge of our lands. Love to hear it. Not as crazy as having Harald Hardrada on the throne for 300 some years. Let's look at development and see if there's anything changes. Nope, no development. Let's look at the kingdom map mode and see if anything really changed. Looks like France has brought in new lands. Scotland has taken over Ireland. Nothing too crazy there. What about yeah, that's what I was expecting. The Empire of Norway has firmly taken over the southern Britannia. I'm surprised that Scotland hasn't formed Britannia. Maybe they're just shy on. They have 33 out of 38. I don't know. And they have the money. They have a ton of money. So it's just like, for whatever reason, the AI is like, I don't want to be an emperor. Don't make me do it. You can't force me to do it. But yeah. So lots going on here. The Immortals survived a lot longer than they used to. I feel like when we used to do Immortals in this game, they would die pretty quickly. Like, let's look at the ones who had died and see why. So Normandy was died under suspicious circumstances, which I'm always confused how that happens. And then we can look at the Jimena family and see why they died. It looks like Eurasia got her murdered by somebody. Yeah, that's silly. What about Denmark? What happened to Denmark's immortal? Sven II died of also a murder, but because of Harald Hardrada. That makes sense because they were both rivals. Just a lot of that stuff in general. Very interesting. Very, very, very interesting. Weird stuff all around. So what have we learned today? I think what we've learned is that in general, Immortals, pretty fun. They add a lot of stability to the land, even more so now that the AI has been updated with the last couple updates where they get more, they're just better at maintaining larger swaths of land. Also, Immortals die for dumb reasons. They get killed under suspicious circumstances, even though they have 100 intrigue, and I'm just really confused how that consistently happens to them. They should be loved and feared at the same time. Lastly, that don't mess with Harald Hardrada. Apparently he's a bad boy, and he will take over all the world if he had the chance. And I think that's all we have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, have a good rest of your day. Ciao.